Okay, I'm back after what, like a month? Let the exercise continue, I guess. Today is Wednesday, 29th of October. I think it's like 5 weeks, about a month since I've done this. And it's interesting how it gets more difficult and difficult to do it and get back on track once you drop off. And that's like exactly what I wrote in my newsletter that is coming out tomorrow. There was also a little dabble in that, but I've been able to keep it pretty much consistent. There was just like a little, well, there was a little dabble, but we're back on track right now. And I wrote in the email, and I feel like that's the topic right now in general in my life, is consistency and what is consistency. I realized that like sustainable is consistent, and I there's like 100 days, and if you miss a day then you need to start again from the day one. And or like these 100-day streaks, or like, never miss a day, or never miss a week. And I realized for me those just feel so kind of counterproductive. Those are so alluring in a way. And of course, like if you're trying to drop something or get out of something, like stop doing something, of course I understand like this. Actually, I stopped using milk in my coffee, and that's a whole long other story, but that's been something that I just stopped, and I had to. But that's, I'm not talking about nutrition or sugar, well, whatever. But anyway, so technically almost anything you do in life, it's not about doing something every day 100 days in a row. It's about, if you do something and then you stop, that you just go back to it, like this, just documenting me here for the future version of me. I wrote something that I took out from the newsletter. The positive feedback loop between simply showing up in what might feel awkward mediocrity to myself. Hello. And the pride you get from looking back and realizing that actually the progress is real. I did forget that while in the thick of it, but I'm glad I'm remembering it now. So I don't know. And so I did we were with Olga, the filmmaker. We did the documentary trip. That's, work in progress right now. And then my album was finally released, and then I've been going back to my strategy, and I actually realized I had to rest as well. And I need to rest more. And also I think that's kind of part of consistency, of actually taking a rest. And that's kind of the whole like annoying part of the whole like hustle, bro marketing hustle culture, that they never talk about rest. Or like 15-minute power nap, that's it. No, I need to stare at a wall for 3 days in a row. But I'm finding myself in this place where the river banks that I've been creating, the firm river banks, so that the river that can flow freely, and And I've been building that and the structures and everything. And of course, everything is happening more slowly and everything is a bit more difficult than I expected or wanted. And of course, I'm also recognizing that the problems or difficulties that are kind of surfacing, I actually suppose that those are coming later because, like, you know, like because of the process and the progress that I've been doing, it's, of course, I'm gonna face difficulties, but maybe the difficulties are coming a bit later, or those are a bit more advanced than if I didn't have those processes and things figured out in the first place. And yet it's so difficult to recognize while you're in it. Like for example, right now, I don't see the value in this. I honestly don't. But I made myself the promise of showing up. And I felt actually quite bad of like every week realizing like, oh yeah, I need to do it. But then it's always about like, yeah, well, I need to wash my hair, or you know, I'm tired, I have so many other things to do. Of course I've always other things to do. But I promise that this is one of the blocks that create the riverbanks. And yeah, and this is hard, and I kind of feel like this is useless. But I know that some of you, or some people, we've had quite amazing conversations because of these. But yeah, reality is always more difficult and more annoying than the dream or the hope of something, like becoming. The dream of becoming is always, it's a dream. And then the becoming is actually, I guess, quite a, sometimes fun and exciting, but mostly, I guess, quite mundane and even gruesome. But yeah, so right now, kind of talking about the processes and everything, and kind of being in the middle of it and kind of having a bit of a hard time. I'm just constantly becoming more painfully aware that though I am really good in certain things, I really, really suck in other things. And I just have to be able to either delegate, stop doing something and accept that, delegate it to somebody else who does it either in a suckier way than I do, or probably better way than I do. And also bear the fact that it might take some time to actually kind of get on this, find the person and get on the same page. And also then just like refigure the order of importance of things. I know I need to go back to my strategy that I created earlier this year. And somehow I'm hesitating. I don't want to. I mean, of course, I remember it by heart, but I don't want to go back and kind of face the rather painful reality that it didn't work out perfectly. I mean, of course it didn't. And somebody that I already discussed about it, somebody that I talked about it with, he just mentioned that when I was like wondering like my SWOT analysis, I actually did a SWOT analysis, that all the weaknesses and threats have become real. And then I was kind of wondering whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. Like, I think it's a bad thing, because if I knew these are coming, why didn't I prevent them better? Or why didn't I do anything better? But then again, actually the fact that I knew what the difficulties are means that I understand something. So and maybe the difficulties or the threats and weaknesses kind of appeared maybe a bit later. Yeah. But I'm dreaming of a life and a way of existing that I know how it needs to feel. I know what I want to do. But right now, I'm not sure how to get there from here. I don't know how to get there. I know where I want to go. Like energetically, emotionally, career-wise, etc. But it's like you're playing those strategy games with a map, and then there's like a massive black space in the middle of the map. You know, you need to get from here to here. There's just like